Hardened Scales. Pretty sweet enabler. +1. Whenever one or more 1/1 counters we put on a creature you control, they get that many +1 instead. We've got an enchantments focused shell. So we've got Kami that gets counters. We've got Setessan Champion that gets counters. And we've got Showdown of the Skalds here that puts counters on things. We're also playing kind of jank glue Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Just kind of can tie anything together. We've got a Generous Visitor that gives counters as well. So let's go ahead and pop on into some matches with this one and see how it goes. It's the 48 months Cajun guy. Welcome back. This is pretty bad without a 1-drop to start on. I think we mulligan this. We effectively don't do anything till turn 3. You wanted a 1-drop, Hogland. Hope you didn't want a second land with it. Magic the Gathering experience. And the audio's broken again, too. Arena's certainly been something being back, Chip. It's certainly been something. I ditch the land. It's a little greedy, but I think I like it. I think I want to play a second Fable this turn, so I'm going to go ahead and go land into Reign of Truth, target this. We'll attack, we'll make a treasure token, we'll play a second Fable. I discarded the Baffling End because whatever they play out to enable fight rigging is going to get to pop it off the first turn anyways, so I think we're just mostly in the camp of hoping they don't have it. Is definitely a discard of both of these angle. Huh? Wasn't the creature free that turn? Yeah, but then I don't, but then I don't have it to discard to the Fable of the Mirror Breaker the next turn, and its body's not really doing anything for me. Yeah, I agree. The audio bug really serves to highlight how important the audio is to the Magic Arena experience. Could not agree more. So the sound design in this application is generally good, and that is kind of made even more apparent by the fact when it's not there. take 7 here. Yeah, I'm aware how sagas interact with Setessan Champion, John. I've played this game before. Who are we powering up? I think I want to just start making something else bigger. I think I'm going to copy Champion before we play Baffling End. So we get to draw an extra card here. I guess making Portrait large is also not a terrible idea. I guess I don't really want to attack here. So I don't really want to give them a trigger with the Elder Gargoth. They hit an ultimatum here, we're likely dead, but if they don't have ultimatum, we're in a pretty good spot. I assume this is lethal, although they did foretell Aldrin's Epiphany, so maybe not. Gosh, we're so close to lethal. How does reflection targeting this work? Do I get the back half? I get the back half, right? I do, okay. Man, could you imagine if we had a Hardened Scales through all of this? I can force a bunch of blocks here, but I don't know that we quite have lethal, right? Gosh, we're so close. I'm sure I was less than efficient in some of these turns earlier, and I could have gotten a little bit bigger. Yeah, Hardened Scales, very late to the party. I should have put one more counter on here, too. I could have had my reflections copy each other. Yes. Yes. Do I still get to make 2 of these at the end, though? Does that work out the same? Because I end up with untapped ones. So if they copy each other a bunch, I end up +3 on all of these. Sorry, I end up +2 on all of these, which means they would have gone block, block, block. They gain 3 up to 19. They take 10, 13, 15. We still died there even with the middle. You're right that the Kikis copying each other did more though. And maybe I guess if I do that line, we actually draw Hardened Scales in the middle. So maybe it ends up different, but I think we were still torched there regardless. Man, our selection of removal spells is pretty bad for this matchup. I guess we'll bring in the extra Baffling End and a couple Sealaways. Not that I really expect them to have much removal. I believe our opponent's at 4 cards right now. It's hard to tell until they finish. Interesting and fun. What's going on, Schooler? Thanks for the 17 months. Welcome back. At least our opponent's also having bad variance this game. Good stuff. I only feel like we outplayed our opponent there. Strong showing. They tremble in fear at the brilliance of our play. By the way, for the regulars who are here that were surprised at a weekend stream, I'm going to be live tomorrow too, as well as all next week since I was off most of last week. Just getting some extra hours on the board. Sand seems pretty good. Missing a red source, but otherwise fine. You lead on Generous Visitor, right? This card's pretty good with fight rigging. Then we'll go Kami into Scales into Jukai Naturalist. Feel better soon, Quarth. Oof, Schooler. Turn 4, cast Emergent Ultimatum. Yep. It's pretty good. It'd definitely be worse for us, I suppose. Our deck feels very slow and fair in comparison to what our opponent is doing. Alright. You have to look at my face in high def while I restart the client for the 3rd time today. Listen, chat. With the power of Fable of the Mirror Breaker, this hand could be anything, so we get to keep. That was good, sell it. Thanks for the 3rd of the year. Welcome back. This might be greedy, but I think I'm in for greed. Need to pick that back up later. I think second white is more important than second red. Neither are super important. We actually don't have any double colored spells in our deck list. Oh! Yeah, that's a good shout. We actually don't even have anything in our sideboard that breaks Wellspring as well. Yeah, 100% should be playing Wellspring. I hate companions, chat. Can we just please get rid of all of the companions out of Magic the Gathering? This game would be so much better without them. They're just so awful. I'm intentionally not playing out this other champion because I want to use this mana to make Reflection of the Kiki Jiki copies in response to these Trial of Ambitions coming back into play. I don't know if this is going to be enough to grind through this Yorion, but we're sure as hell going to try. Oh, and this is Explorer, so they do still gain life. I was just about to say, and they don't gain life anymore, but that's not true in this format. Okay, so we need to go wide because of Trial of Ambition. I want to not tap my white mana when we cast this. Yeah, that's pretty close to lethal, huh? Yeah, I mean, Showdown of the Skalds is great. I missed a point of damage yet. I'm aware I missed a point of damage. You don't need to tell me. If I play this first, this gives one more. Thunk. Okay, so Portable Hole is going to target Kami. I'm going to sacrifice the Life's Bounty to protect that from that. And then we'll sacrifice the Generous Visitor and the Jukai Naturalist to the Trials of Ambition. Are they dead? I think they're dead. They're dead. They're dead if they don't have a Doomblade, right? I'm going for it, Jet. Ship it. That was an impressive amount of grind. I did not think we were gonna beat the Yorion, and we kind of crunched them. Is Shaper's Sanctuary good here? It's like, it does Portable Hole, but they were on like Trials and Meat Hooks and stuff. I don't know if I'm into that. Destiny Spinner seems fine. Do Do I think Shaper is better than any of these other cards currently in my deck? I don't think it is. Thoughts, opinions? Run it back. Want to lead on Fable here. This is like, I think whatever I play this turn is likely to die, and the champion doesn't get any value this turn if it just plays and dies immediately. It's these two. Maybe I'm supposed to ditch the land there. We're looking for a showdown, right? So I'm gonna ditch those. Large land there, chat. Large land. Oh, Sky Noodle. Sky Noodle. Yeah, them having Yorian for 5 mana. Gosh. Can you believe the original companion rule is you just cast it from here for the mana cost? Like, it doesn't seem real, right? Like that can't possibly have been the rule you tested. Big this ain't it energy.
I've learned much during my travels.
Our lack of showdowns is probably gonna get us here.
Remember your training.
Been so long since I've been hit by Othakaya's hidden text chat.
I'm not impressed.
It still kind of feels like we're in this game, huh? I draw a Showdown of the Skalds, and we like are just like beep beep ready to go with these Kamis.
Strike fast and strike hard.
Finish Showdown of the Skalds, please, deck. How about another land, chat? I think another land is pretty good.
Still have much to learn.
Playing this out, I shouldn't have even played it out. It doesn't do anything. So I get to blink this next turn. I'm playing the land out because if we draw Showdown, we want all of our mana available. I think drawing a brick that turn means the game is over because of the Sky Noodle. My opponent's 8th free card that's going to draw them 8 cards here. It's like actually 8 cards, right? It's 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 6 cards, sorry. Apologies, we over-exaggerated. I think this is a day late and a dollar short. Definitely the best draw in our deck, but I think it's too late. Game 3 on the plate. Let's do it. Rev the engines. Rev them. Zoom, zoom. RNL, thank you for the 32 months. Welcome back. Appreciate it. Okay, this is the type of hand we need to win this for sure. The this potentially making a treasure token next turn means that all right. Let's say we couldn't Showdown before the land, not an option now. Definitely just go ahead and jam this before this can take it away. Okay, so we have chapter 2 on the Showdown. So do we open Scales then? What's more counters? So this will trigger this twice, but this will trigger both of these. So if I play this and then do these, I get 2 extra counters here. But if I play this, these, and then do this, I get 2 extra counters here. And these counters will be spread out more, so I think it's better to do this last here. My lukewarm take on you should trim a bunch of stuff is, if your solution to fitting a card in from your sideboard is trimming a bunch of stuff, usually that, oh, I should have shocked in to hold up Life's Bounty. Usually that means you're not approaching your sideboard incorrectly. Or at least out of Meathook Massacre range on our Kami. And maybe I should have stacked up counters on here to get this out of Meathook range as well. They gave us the untapped land, God bless. Alright, a 1 or 2 mana enchantment, please. How about a land? I think a land is similar to a 1 or 2 mana enchantment. And again, we're going to go ahead and play this land out, simply because if we draw another Showdown, we want as much mana as possible, but pretty big sad to swing and miss there. 3 Showdowns left in 42 cards. So, one of the things to note about decks like this, John, is decks that draw a lot of cards. Oh my god, do they have counter spells in their deck post-board? Just removal, okay. One of the things to note about decks like this that draw a lot of cards is that they have this experience where they frequently feel like they simultaneously have too much mana and not enough at the same time. Simply by virtue of the fact that, you know, you need lands to get going, but then you also are going to see a lot of cards, meaning you're going to draw through a lot of lands later. I'm just drawing all of the cards this turn. Thanks. I have no idea what that would look like, Dangazone, or why that would be worth building. Did something get added to one of those archetypes that makes you think it's worthwhile? That's not really an established deck in any format. Reanimator decks in general tend to not be very good in Magic, because you usually jump through a lot of hoops to try and reanimate things, and then you lose to graveyard hate, and ultimately you're just worse off than ramping into something. A lot of the reanimate spells are like pretty fair at like 4 and 5 mana. At that point, you might as well just like play a couple of ramp spells, so you don't get rinsed off by graveyard hate. Okay, our stuff's about to be huge, chat. Yeah, like other spells aren't like legacy reanimator spells. What about Grease Fang? I mean, Grease Fang's a 3 mana reanimator spell. So yeah, it's good because it's different, because it's not 4 and 5 mana. I think you could also argue its payoff is better than a lot of the other creature payoffs that you're getting in the format. Like it attacks for 12 the turn you play it. Speaking of the turn you play it, our Kami is pretty decent here. We are successfully out of meat hook range, yes. There's no way they have a removal spell here, right? They would have used it, like maybe they have Ray of Enfeeblement? Any other removal spell they would have played before we drew stuff, right? Hey, Urquan, thank you for the 19 months. Welcome back. Appreciate it. And, like, unfortunately, this doesn't even really do anything because they get to Yorian Blink the Portable Hole with their free 8th card. Oh. What's going on, Bobby? Thanks for the entire year. Welcome back. Should we hold lands to bin to Fable? Yeah, that's a good shout. We're through all the showdowns, actually, right? There's still 3 Fables in the deck. It's a good call out. Alright. I have some 5/5s. So you're saying there's a chance, chat. Oh no, chat. Do you know what this block means? This block means that's a Doomscar. That's a Padlin. At least the Kami keeps coming back, chat. We've got that going for us. Actually pretty fortunate that our opponent missed the fact that they could have eaten the Kami with their Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Nah, that card isn't very good, Dengazone. Ward 2 isn't enough. Nah, 4/2 for 5 mana is not playable. Those cards are bad. Didn't I have protection? Yeah, this was a destroy effect. Protection didn't matter. Alright, chat, I believe in our Kami. They've got 2 bricks in their hand here, just like we do. We're going the distance. Okay.
I am the Emperor of Kamigawa, and I will protect my people.
Alright, chat, I've got 2 more Magic Arena restarts in me. So, we're gonna restart here. That's probably gonna be the litmus for how much Magic we play in a given day. This week is how often do we have to restart to have audio? The load times also seem worse this patch too. Feel like he's slower to start than I remember. What's going on, Cannon? Thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. Our completely finished and functional client. Yep. I am at least not having lockups. I'm just having my audio disappear like every other game. Yeah, I don't think I've ever experienced that before, BTS, in any other platform. Agree. Cool. That's the big brain play behind MTGO, chat. There's no audio, so you can't have audio bugs. Less features means less things that can break. No second green here is kind of a beating. Kami. We hit second green this turn. Naturalist along with Visitor could pull things up for us. Okay, so you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Do 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 do. You think our opponent should file for compensation, chat? Their deck didn't have Embercleave at the end of their curve. I'm pretty sure that means it's broken and the game is bugged. Okay, so Baffling End and Seal Away. Maybe Scoos? What are we trimming here? This probably is less good in a matchup where we're more likely to be playing defensively. We'll trim a Fable. Probably don't need 8 pieces of card advantage at the top end. Because I have crackers and I have peanut butter, but I don't have a knife to put peanut butter on my crackers. No! Thank you, child. For those of you that aren't familiar with how children work, the way you can tell what level your children are in real life is from what distance they can fetch things for you. When they're really small, you start out pointing at things across the room and then they bring them back to you. And then eventually when they get to like Jacob and Declan's age, they can bring things to you from other floors of the house through simple verbal commands. And then eventually they're allowed to drive and then they can even fetch things from the store. That's the tip-top peak level. You can send them out of the home to fetch things to return. We're still waiting on that one here in the Hoagland household. The prestige level is when they start fetching you from places when you're too old to drive. I accept. We played mini golf a couple of times over the week when we were gone. And I would always make the boys bend over and pick my ball up out of the hole at the end of it. And Jacob would always do it happily and just grab it and hand it back to me when I asked him to. And every time I asked Declan to do it, he would complain and call me lazy. Dude, two very different personalities between the boys. Dead, chip. Feeling a little dead. Dead on board. This is 2. We block here. Technically not dead on board. Close though. For game 3, we're going to tactically realign my deck to allow it to be more agile in this changing industry. And by that, I mean I'm going to play first. Do I play this exposing it to Stomp? I think probably not. I think I want to just Baffling End the Pelt Collector here. Thank you, Magic Arena, for saving me from myself while I'm talking. I think we want to Baffling End this, and then next turn we'll go Naturalist into Scales. Oh, I can go Scales and a Naturalist for even more, right? Yeah, that's better. Good call. Although, I bet they just have Stomp. I guess they Stomp this now, and that's still not good for me. Sedge. Yeah, it's like... We didn't even play a full match, and the audio is bugged again. So frustrating. Last week, I got a new job as a business analyst, and part of that was learning corporate speak on your channel. God bless. Okay. We have a showdown. And congrats on your new gig, BTY. When we hit 3 lands on the Showdown, I thought to myself, at least we're more likely to draw spells now. Little did I know. We're dead to Epshed Oasis, right? Stacks for 16. We can go to 9 and then block 3. A lot we can do there. You know what we can do, however, chat? We can look at my big old ugly sunburned face here while I restart the client after playing one match. That's what we can do. So we can have functional audio for one game again. What's going on, Zins? Welcome back. Appreciate it. I feel slightly uncomfortable seeing Jeff in a collared shirt. Yeah, I had to record something for Pokemon Unite official stuff, so I had to not have one of my branded shirts on, which is why the background's all Pokemon stuff right now. Explicitly take off the coalescent stuff. The camera has not gone off me on Rowlet yet, so hopefully it doesn't start doing that again. I also really like these. I don't really own clothes that I don't think are comfortable, chat. These are Sam's Club brand member mark polos. They're very comfortable. They breathe well. The material feels nice. They're relatively cheap too. Seems like it's really bad for us, huh? I guess we'll do this in a tapped land, but like we have to like take next turn off to Showdown to see cards, and then we're probably gonna die before we get a chance to use those cards, right? Let's keep it over. Get some more interaction in our deck here. This has got to be a Shaper Sanctuary matchup, right? End of Truth is not very good when we're on the defensive. I think all of our cheap cards are good here. Maybe Hardened Scales trims in this matchup, because I want more individual card quality. Scavenging Ooze seems fine. I'm gonna trim like one of each of these top ends. Let's try that. I'm shocking to get the life linker down. It's about net even life in the long run once we get an attack or two in. I guess we kind of have a question here of... I guess we kind of have the question here of... Do we make red to cast this, or do we play the Jukai Naturalist? I think I want to play the Naturalist outright. I think the Mr. Negative deck is less consistent than some other decks in Marvel Snap, but I think the cube and the snapping mechanic means that if you're snapping correct early when your hand is strong and retreating appropriately when it's not, it's actually fine. So I think it's one of the things that's really sweet about that game. It lets you play a little bit higher variance decks and still feel rewarded for good play with them. Being able to assess like your starting 4 cards and know when you should snap on one goes a long way. Hood feels insane in the Beast Collector deck, and that's definitely the deck we're going to start with today when we switch over to Snap this afternoon. We're gonna play a little bit of that. We're gonna play a little bit of the a mid-range deck I've been working on. Stop this, it comes back later, so be my guest. One of the Snap devs tweeted that their next update's gonna have a change to how collecting cards works, so I'll be interested to see how that is. It's definitely been the biggest feedback they've had so far. I think I'm playing Champion out here. I am a confirmed coward, chat. No warriors shall be blocked this day. I love Hobgoblin, Seth. I think it's so much fun. What's going on, James? Thanks for the 28 months. Treating you all right? BT dubs for those in chat. If you're looking for another excellent arena content producer, James does a bunch of stuff. They're a great one to click on and give a follow to if you're looking for more stuff when I'm not around. I think we need to Kami into Fable here. Go a little bit wide on defense. I don't know that my body is ready to be cleaved, chat. I blocked this into the 2/2, so in the event that they have a deal 3 damage spell, they couldn't finish off the champion. I did mean that my Kami got exiled when I traded with the Bone Crusher Giant, but I think that's ideal. Hey, thanks for 33 months, Sky Guy. Welcome back. Is this good enough? I think it is. So I get to go Shaper Sanctuary into Generous Visitor, cast Bounty, get a counter here. Do I want to draw a card? What kind of stupid question is that, Magic Arena? Yes, I would like to draw a card, thank you.
I won't stop fighting till the people are safe again. Let's bring things up to a simmer.
Shock and do this. It's close though. 2 life. 2 life isn't free in this matchup. It could be right to tap land plus Naturalist here.
Aw, you're looking a little singed.
another white source. Love to see it. Baffling End. I think I'm discarding the life's bounties here.
Can't douse these flames.
I think I want to play a second Shapers out here before the Fable flips over. What's going on, Zipples? Yeah, we're going to be live today and tomorrow for 4 or 5 hours. Not super long stream, but I wanted to put some hours in since it was gone for a while. Do you do 8 days in a row?
You're lucky this is a warning shot.
Okay, we've got the Baffling End to answer the rampaging for us on here. Alright, and that just resolved instantly, right? And this does too, so I think that means we don't be afraid and we just ship this in here.
Not as bad as it looks.
Want to play all your lands out in this deck because you can draw Showdown of the Skalds. Also holding up Life's Bounty has some value here.
Watch me heat up the dance floor.
Lava Coil my reflection while I have triple Sanctuary plus Iliad in play. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out for him here. Oh no! Not a second removal spell! What will I ever do now with my 6 new cards? Whoa, I don't want to jinx it, but we did just make it through 3 entire games of Magic Arena without my audio disappearing. Oh, I keep forgetting to add Wellspring, too. That's a good call, because we had to keep restarting the client. We had to restart and then forget. It's dumb that we should do this, but we definitely should. Yeah, a lot of the games where we flooded, Wellspring would have been big. For sure. Morning, pork chops. Thanks for the 2.5 years. Welcome back. I don't know that my body is ready to be Agent of Treachery yet. Are we ready to be betrayed? I feel like this is similar to the Emergent Ultimatum matchup we played earlier. Are we just torched here? Like, our card advantage largely doesn't matter, and they just go way over the top of us? Like, it doesn't, like, on paper, it doesn't look like my deck has the tools to be competitive into a matchup like this. Anything combo oriented seems exceedingly difficult for us. Hey, DMS, thanks for the 52. Welcome back. Yes, I don't know how we ever beat this. And again, just like going back to the kind of companion head scratcher, like they're gonna get to Yorian, this Agent of Treachery, here in a minute. They even have enchantments to draw cards with our champion. Gross. That's true. I can potentially stop a agent trigger with Life's Bounty. I do get to Baffling End my champion next turn. Is noteworthy. Yeah, we might have a shot here still.
Anyone who harms my people must contend with me.
I think I just have to let this happen.
My judgment is final.
So the play here is to make our Kami huge and then smash them with a giant trampler next turn.
If you wish to surrender now, I understand. Keep an open mind.
Are we gonna beat turn 4 agent chat? I guess let's not count our chickens too soon, but it's definitely feeling that way, huh? Out of here.
Remember your training.
Alright, so this doesn't draw cards anyways. Do I want to copy Jukai Naturalist? If I copy Jukai Naturalist, it's mana neutral because it makes the Showdown cheaper. I could also copy Kami, so that way it just gets more counters. I think I'm into copy Kami. This hits Hardened Scales, we go insane. Okay, we had a 1-mana, we had 2 1-mana enchantments. I think they're dead shit. I haven't quite done all the math yet, but I believe we have killed them. This is a sick game. Yeah, and then this is, whoo! We beat the turn 4 agent, chat. We beat the turn 4 agent by beating them down. That's actually just kind of insane. Baffling End's pretty bad here. I don't really know that we have any sideboard cards that jump out at me, huh? Is it just Destiny Spinner? A lot of their, like, interactive cards are like sweepers and stuff, and Narset kind of craps on this too, so I think it's just a 2-drop that attacks. Any thoughts on this? Anybody feel strongly about Shaper Sanctuary? Yes, Yasharn does not have any disruptive text here, unfortunately. Alright, chat, this is actually adorable. So, Haley has a baby doll. And she is changing the baby doll's diaper unprompted. Which is kind of adorable. And by that I mean she's trying to put one of her diapers on it, but she's super cute. I think this is a mulligan, right? Just no proactiveness. This is pretty good. Curse survives sweepers. I can see that. That getting Jawari Disruption feels like a win for us. Really? Okay. If I play this and they Deafening Clarion or Sweep me next turn, I'm pretty big sad, but if they don't, if I get to untap with this, it's actually insane, so. We just giddy up and hope. Everybody clench. Fires into nothing? Okay. So do I Scales again, or do I Fable? I think I want to Fable. It feels like they're setting up for, Agent of Treachery plus Blink Agent of Treachery. I don't know, I feel like playing this game slow is how we lose Limpton. I agree that, like, Sweeper there is real bad for us, but when they don't have it, we just get to win the game, right? There's a lot of scenarios where we, like, play out the Fable and they sweep us and we still lose. I think the risk to reward ratio there is pretty good. There's a lot of cards that are nerfed or banned in Historic that are Explorer and Pioneer legal. That's weird. I think Suskind means cards that are nerfed in Historic but are legal in their base form in Explorer. Unless they misunderstood and I'm misunderstanding their misunderstanding. Alright, hopefully this is a matchup where Baffling End has text. If that's the case, this hand is really good. If it's not the case, the hand's still an okay 5, so we're definitely keeping. The only thing we consistently know about Wizards' communication policy is that they're bad at communicating, so no, we don't have any idea when the anthologies are coming. We don't have release dates or spoiler dates. Just actual no clue. Now we sit here and check our watches while we wait 4 minutes for our opponent to DC. Once Upon a Time is one of those cards where I just kind of forget it exists because it's just such an offensively bad design. Like, I'm pretty forgiving of a lot of cards that have ended up banned just because, like you gotta take risks and sometimes you get numbers wrong. Once Upon a Time is just a card that should never have been printed. Like, I don't understand how that one happened. Like, Oko, completely get it. Fires of Invention, completely get it. These are neat designs that just, like, have their numbers wrong. It's a huge flavor win, and that's all I can say about it. It obviously has great flavor. But everything else about it is just like, what happened here? Severian the Lame, thanks for not being lame and resummon. Welcome back. Yeah, it would have had to been unplayable outside of being free, basically. Like 3, 4, 5 mana sorcery speed. Honestly, 3 mana sorcery speed, maybe it's even okay. It's just like, at 2 mana instant speed when you weren't... That's another one. I would love to see Once Upon a Time rebalanced for Historic. There's so much good use of digital design space that they just, like, completely ignore. I was so optimistic for all the things they could do with Magic's digital-only formats, and instead of doing a bunch of sweet rebalancing stuff, they instead just, like, gave us a bunch of draft uncommons that, like, have the, first chapter of War and Peace written on them. Alright, I'm actually just gonna concede this match, because not only are they playing mono blue, but they're also just, like, sitting here wasting my time. And I really just could not care less about my ladder points. It's incredibly frustrating and unfun experience playing against someone playing like that who's not going to be punished because of how the Magic Arena timer works. My number one piece of advice I have for you, whether you're playing Magic Arena or any other game, if you are ever playing a game and you are not having fun, you should stop playing that game or start playing it in a different way. We're all adults who have plenty of things we are obligated to do that aren't fun. Your gaming experience should never be unfun. If your game ever feels like a chore, you should stop playing it. Don't log in, and this is not just true of Magic Arena, but it's true of basically most mobile games. Anything that's not a AAA single price one and done game, all of these games lean on psychology to make players feel like they're trapped and have an obligation to play even when they're not enjoying it. So it's really important in order to have a healthy relationship with these style of games that you be able to identify when you're no longer having fun and remove yourself from playing it for a little while. Ever played League's Wild Rift? I have not. I've thought about it since I started playing on BlueStacks. I know I'm not really big on APM games on pure mobile controls, but I can play it on BlueStacks the way I do Pokemon Unite. I don't know, a big selling point for Pokemon Unite to me is the consistent game length though. And Wild Rift matches can be like 20 minutes, right? And they're variable, they're not always the same length. The big thing Snap and Pokemon Unite have taught me as an adult gamer is predictable game length is something I didn't know I desperately wanted as an adult gamer. Just genuinely did not realize that was something I needed in my life until I experienced it in Pokemon Unite. Alright, the ledger is shredding shit. Anybody Phoenixes in here yet? Doesn't look like it. I assume they're a Phoenix deck. There's a bird. Kind of hoping for a Baffling End. Okay. Wish granted. I'm going to throw away the Goblin Shaman for 3 points of damage, as well as getting to play Baffling End this turn off the treasure token. Does trigger their ledger shredder, but that's fine. I want to take it off the board here. So Gandalf, it's not that I explicitly dislike long games, and Pokemon Unite and Snap are both on the shorter side. It's the explicit experience of getting to sit down and know how long I'm sitting down for when I press the start match button that I really enjoy from both Snap and Pokemon Unite. Because like Magic Arena, you don't know, right? Like I could be sitting down to start a match of Magic Arena and it could be a 7-minute experience or it could be a 67-minute experience, and I don't get to know which of those two it's going to be. How do I kill them before I die to arc lights in the air? Yes, the saga has triggered the champion again, which is lovely. I agree. I think this might be a visitor into Fable. We just like don't recast these. Yes, that's also true too. With a variance game like Magic, you don't know if that hour-long experience when it happens is going to end with you flooding out in Game 3 after a close Game 1 and Game 2. And then you walk away from the whole experience feeling a little salty. Variance by design games definitely feel a bit better from an emotional perspective when they're shorter. When you get God after 4 minutes or 10 minutes, it's much better than after getting God after 50 minutes. All right, Ledger Shredder is a good start for us, I think. But without salt, everything is so bland. They need a third Phoenix plus a Play with Fire to KO us this turn. So, rest in peace, seal away, hearse. This might be a Shaper Sanctuary matchup, huh? It was Kraken. I commented on that one. It almost got us. They've got a lot of cheap removal spells, right? I think in these matchups like this, I don't really need the over the topness that Hardened Scales provides. But I want to pivot out on that. I think the Baffling Ends are in. I think maybe we want a little bit less of this card advantage at the top end if we're bringing in Shaper Sanctuary. I don't know which is ideal to trim on these. I think I want less of both, but I don't know if I want more Fable or more Showdown. Could go either way. I'm inclined to say more Fable since I'm trimming Hardened Scales, but someone else had played the deck more and told me different. I believe them. Hey, Cody. Thanks for the 2/3 of the year. Welcome back. This is fine. Nothing to write home about, but definitely keepable. Finds a nice enchantment or two to play after these champions. Will be in a good spot. I wonder if there's an argument to holding the Life's Bounty and playing a tap land on one here, so that way I could go second champion Life's Bounty on 4. I might actually be correct here. Might be wrong to drop that on 1. I think I am of the opinion I should not have played that on 1, thinking about it more. Well, in the Phoenix deck is something. I guess it's just good enough that you put it in everything, huh? It has some synergy by putting things in the bin, I suppose. Lightning Axe here. That a third Phoenix in 14 cards? Sure. Sure is, chat. Sure is. I'm really surprised they played the up there. I feel like you want to save that. I feel like you want to save that for next turn. Yeah, 1 piece of Graveyard Hate, please, huh? I think I actually need to Fable the Mirror Breaker here, so that way, we have 3 looks at a piece of Graveyard Hate, just in case they can't get the birds back. Obviously, they can put the birds back into play here and then we're dead, but if they don't get birds this turn, this is our best chance to stop them from happening long term. Strategic planning probably means they've got them. The fact that they cast that op the previous turn meant that they couldn't get through there. Justice in my Magic Arena? This was a dream. We unfortunately drew 7 cards this turn and did not find one of our pieces of Graveyard Hate. Sometimes that's just how it be. There's no way they missed the second time in a row, right? The top 2 card here. No, we only have 2 pieces of Graveyard Hate, right? We got a Rested Piece and a Hearse. We had 7 looks though. We weren't that high to hit. We had a lot of looks, but not a lot of hits. Audio, my old friend. I wonder when I'll get to listen to you again. Do 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 do. Snap them? Nah, I think we're good chance for a torched here. They put birds in their bin, shit. Rum, 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 rum. Chaos Magic Chuck. Thanks for the over 3 years. Welcome back. I don't have a 3rd land either. Things coming up, Millhouse. I definitely would snap them after they missed their 3rd land drop. 10 out of 10 would snap them. Shred it, baby. Is the Wellspring powerful enough to get us through the flood? We shall see. We shall see. Prioritize exiling cards. I don't want them to cast with a... What's it called? The finale? This thing revs up to lethal pretty quickly, huh? He spent 2 cards to answer my free 5/5 chat. It's just good value right there. Now, unfortunately, from a position like this, my opponent's deck has a lot more high impact draws than ours, and they have a lot more card selection, so I have to imagine we're behind from here. We draw our 4th land in a row. The audio is bugged for the 10th time today. We drew 4 lands in a row. It sounds like it's time for some Marvel Snap. My body is ready to farm some booster shit. As far as this deck goes, I don't know, it seems fine. This is the type of deck where even if it's powerful, and there's a chance after playing it that I think this deck is powerful, it just doesn't have a ton of player agency in your games. Like, it's pretty linear. You mostly run people over. It was kind of impressive, the game where we ran down the Agent of Treachery deck, but overall, not really the type of deck that I really love playing. It didn't tickle my brain in the way I like decks that I tend to play a lot tickle my brain. So, maybe powerful, not very tricky.